Hello there everyone and welcome on in. Today I'm going to be finally doing a video on the Pokemon Direct that just happened, or also known as Pokemon Day. So I know this is going to be a little late. I know most Pokemon YouTubers they did it right away, but honestly, there's two reasons why I didn't do it right away. First off, I've just been really busy. Full disclosure, I've been pretty busy outside of YouTube and stuff. The second reason, ignore me as I scratch my leg. The second reason is I actually was waiting because in the past, if I'm remembering correctly, I could be remembering incorrectly, but in the past, after Pokemon Day, they've sometimes done little announcements after the fact. Like I think it was like a couple years back, they did an announcement with I think it was Iona's ignore me or ignore my arm. By the way, I'm just petting my cat. They did an announcement with like Iona's partner Pokemon or something like that, or maybe that was leading up to Pokemon Day. I don't remember, but I know that they've done little announcements afterwards, and they kind of did do one on Twitter. They did announce that Pat Rat is going to be in Legends ZA. Ooh, Pat Rat. I know I know there's someone out there who that's their favorite Pokemon, and that's totally fine. I'm glad that your favorite Pokemon's in the game, but I could kind of care less. but but yeah, so I was kind of waiting just a little bit just to see what else would be announced, and nothing really was. So that's totally fine. I'm totally fine with it just being the announcements that they had in it. I actually kind of prefer it that way. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start talking about the stuff that was in there. And Lil, you need to not attack my keyboard. Yeah, don't attack my keyboard. My cat is attacking everything on here. Lil, Lil, Lil is a little monster. So the first thing that we're gonna be talking about, you can see the screen, right? Yes. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about here is actually going to be the new set, the Arceus set, or Arceus. I always prefer saying Arceus. But the Arceus set is what we're going to be talking about here first. So I was actually kind of surprised that they did have another set already released for TCG Pocket, because no chewing on my Pokemon games. I was actually kind of surprised that they're already having another set in TCG Pocket, because they already have two sets released. They have Apex Legends, or I think that's what it was called, or Genetic Apex, that's what it was. Genetic Apex and Space Time Smackdown, and then you had the mini set. So actually three, because you had the mini set with Mythical Islands. So I was actually really surprised that they're already, and like Space Time Smackdown just released like I think a month ago or so, and they're already releasing another set. So I was kind of surprised, but after opening up a couple packs of the new Arceus set, I still haven't gotten to Arceus EX, which is so annoying. I have like every other card in this set, almost all the EXs except for Garchomp EX and Arceus EX, which are the two decks that I want to make the most. But it is what it is. Sometimes you just don't get lucky. I don't really spend money either when I'm playing TCG Pocket. I just kind of use my free packs, and then I get the pack energy or whatever they are, the pack hourglasses, and I use those to do my 10 pulls. That's why I only have one Charizard EX, one Infernape EX. Actually, no, I have. Oh yeah, no, I do only have one Infernape EX, because the only one I got was the full art or the illustration art. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. But yeah, this set is actually. I was hesitant when I first heard about them coming out with a new set, but honestly, I like a lot of the new decks in the set. I was kind of hoping for a Tyranitar EX, maybe maybe a Tyranitar that wasn't linked with Arceus. And that's the other thing too that I think is kind of odd, is that like a lot of Pokemon that you wouldn't necessarily think would be linked to Arceus were. I mean, I know in the past they've linked certain Pokemon to Arceus, but it's just weird. Like it's Obama Snow. Thanks Obama Snow. It's Obama Snow. It's God Crobat, which I would never think of being with Arceus. Tyranitar, another one I would never think of. I mean, I could kind of see Heatran a little, but like there's like just it's kind of a weird set in that regard in my mind. But so far, I've been liking the new decks that you've been able to create from it. In fact, one of the decks I'm liking the most is Arceus Dialga Magnezone, and it's a new Magnezone that works with Arceus. Now, I don't have an Arceus EX yet, but I really like you can just wall out so many decks with Magnezone. Especially, you slap either the giant cape or the Rocky helmet on there, and you're taking 30% or 30, not 30%, 30 less damage if Arceus is on the board, as well as dealing 20 damage to them. So it turns your 80 damage attack into a 100 damage attack, essentially. Or you get 20 extra hit points. So you're already essentially getting like 50 extra hit points, possibly even more with the reduction in damage. And then you're also just dealing out a bunch of damage. It's just a fun deck. I wouldn't say it's good. I've definitely been winning matches on their non-competitive versus ladder, but it's a fun deck, and it's funny too because like apparently one of the best decks right now is Arceus EX with Dialga EX, and then you run Shaman and I think Heatran, or maybe it's not Heatran. I know it's Shaman and like one other card, which I don't have Shaman, the normal Shaman. I have two of the Shaman Sky form. I have the full art or illustration art and the normal Shaman. But yeah, so not much going on with TCG Pocket though. Apparently they are going to be releasing a ranked mode, which I'm actually really excited for. I probably won't play it much. But if they do add in a ranked mode, generally that means that there's going to be new ways to get a lot of the rewards. So I don't know if they're going to just be doing cosmetic rewards or if they're going to be doing stuff where like you can get pack points from the whatever, the ranked mode, right? Because that'd be cool. I would definitely that would definitely be an incentive for me to play ranked. So we'll have to see, what does come with that. I know that there's gonna be a lot of sweaty people on ranked though, which is why I generally don't like playing ranked modes. That and so I love playing card games, but I hate playing card games when they are computer generated because I don't know what it is. I can never get playable hands, or like I was playing with that Magnezone deck that I was talking about, and like 4 games in a row, my last 2 cards were Magnezone. Yes, Lil, I know. You better not be doing what I think you're going to be doing. Okay, he's going to the bathroom. Uh, we'll cut that out. We'll cut that out. But yeah, no, 4 games in a row, my last 2 cards were Magnezone. Like, I was so upset. I was so upset. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. 4 games in a row where the card that the deck is kind of, well, it's not really built around it. But like the card that I really want to use in the deck is the last card. And that happens to me far too often. Like with my Tyranitar deck that I made. Again, not a really good deck. It's barely playable. That deck as well is a deck where it's like, I'll either never draw my Larvatars or I'll never draw my Tyranitars. I have 2 Pokeballs, and I run just the Tyranitar line and Arceus, and I'll get Arceus with both the Pokeballs. It's like, you've got to be kidding me. Well, actually, I take that back. I don't run 2 Arceus. Well, I do run 2 Arceus, but then I also run Shaman as well. I run 1 Shaman. And it never fails. I'll throw out 2 Pokeballs. I'll get 1 Arceus, and I'll get 1 Shaman. I never get Larvitar. I'll Pokemon Communications away the Arceus, and I'll get a Pupitar. It's like, you've got to be kidding me. So I don't know what it is about these card games that I play. And it's not just with Pokemon TCG Pocket. I've played Hearthstone. I've played, yes, Lil. I've played so... this cat. I've played so many other TCGs, like on electronic TCGs, and this always happens with me. Just like never fails every time I start recording. He starts just wanting my attention all over the place. I'm going to pause right here, and I will be right back. And we're back. Sorry about that. Lil was he was being a little punk. Anyways, he's climbing up and doing a bunch of things that he wasn't supposed to be doing. So, but yeah, so that's it with TCG Pocket. I'm going to be moving on to the TCG, like the actual TCG. So as we can see here, I was thinking I might still pull up some of the clips from the direct, but for the most part, I was just figuring I can. I mean, they have the clips right there, but I was figuring that we could just pull up the stuff off of here. So this is a card that I. This is. I just spit everywhere. This is a card that I'm actually really interested in. Now, one of the things I don't like about megas right now that I'm already seeing is the power creep in regards to not just the damage that they're doing, but also the HP that they have. 340 HP on a stage 1 is ridiculous. And I understand it's 3 prize cards, but I don't know. I don't like that. I feel like it's a little too much. I would have been fine if, maybe 300 HP and have it not be 3 prize cards. Just I don't know. I also don't like the idea of it taking 3 prize cards if one of these gets knocked out. Especially when you have, something like Iron Hands EX where that's now 4 prize cards. It is just, I mean, granted, I don't think you'd really want to be playing Iron Hands EX into a Lucario, but you can maybe set something up. The other thing too that kind of makes me really sad about this, granted, things will be changing with the new metas. Destined Rivals is going to be really cool with bringing in Cynthia's Garchomp, which I'm super excited for. Garchomp's one of my favorite Pokemon, and Cynthia is one of my favorite champions. So I'm really, especially because the current Garchomp that we have sucks. I make it a deck around it, but it isn't good. And then we get Mega Lucario. Which way? There we go. We get Mega Lucario here, who's basically just a better version of this is the Garchomp EX that we should have gotten when we originally got Garchomp EX, because it's literally the same card. Just instead of the Sonic Dive ability, which the Sonic Dive ability sucked. It was 120 damage for 2 energy that you have to discard afterwards to put 120 damage onto any active Pokemon, which sounds cool because you can, bench snipe with that, but it's 120 damage. Why would I do that if I could just do Dragapult EX and deal 200 damage to the active as well as put on 3 damage counters on a 3 separate Pokemon? It was very, very underpowered. So this is just power crept Garchomp EX, Terra Garchomp EX. So I'm really looking forward to making a deck with this. I might even try and use this, because I actually like this better with using it in a Raging Bolt deck. I don't think that'll be its home is in a Raging Bolt deck, but I love the idea of using this in a Raging Bolt deck. So probably what's going to end up happening for me, at least, is I'm going to be changing out my Garchomp for Lucario EX in that deck. And because, I could also just fit so many other cards in it too. So this, I'm really looking forward to Megas returning. I just realized I'm looking forward to Mega Charizard. The Mega Charizard deck. Charizard. The Charizard deck that we have already is amazing. I can just imagine how good the Mega Charizard deck is going to be, and I'm hoping that it's going to kind of be like the next one that we're going to be talking about, which is Mega Gardevoir, where it looks like it can work with the original Gardevoir EX. In fact, actually, hold on real fast. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. I wanted to look up the old Lucario EX because I just wanted to make sure I was remembering it correctly. And yeah, this card sucks. I know it was with an EX battle deck, but I was just curious to see if it looked like it could be maybe remotely playable with Mega Lucario EX. And nah, this card sucks. So going back to what we're talking about, yeah, I think that Mega Lucario EX is going to work really well in a Raging Bolt deck. I can already think of some other decks I think it'll work good with. I could even see it working good with an Ogerpon EX. the cornerstone Ogerpon is what I was meaning to say. And the thing is too with this is it does not need to be fighting type Pokemon. I'm shaking my camera. It does not need to be fighting type Pokemon. It's just 3 fighting type energy on any of your bench Pokemon. So you could even use this with that horrible Garchomp EX that I was just talking about, the Terra Garchomp EX. You could use this with that card. I don't know why you would, but you could. You could even use this with your Cynthia's Garchomp too. So I think that this is going to be a really fun card to use, and I can't wait to see the deck building possibilities. Moving on, we do have Premium Power Pro, which this I'm looking forward to using this with. Actually, here I want to pull up the Cynthia's Garchomp. Okay, yeah. So I mean, this is also going to be good here. I mean, I guess I didn't really need to do it because we're just looking at the damage. Since this is an item card, you can play... Hold on. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, so I just looking at this and then looking at this, you can play 4 of these in one turn. If you have all 4 of them in your hand, you can play 4 of these in one turn. So... I mean, that's, you can basically one-shot most of the Pokemon in the meta. Not to mention with this Garchomp, I mean, you can do, it does 260 damage. And yeah, you have to discard energies from the card, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like this could actually be really good with that Lucario, especially because, look, there's no retreat cost on it. So you could send this in, deal out a bunch of damage, discard all the energies, and then swap it into the Lucario the next turn, assuming that this doesn't get knocked out. And this Garchomp's going to be super beefy. And then, because of the other Cynthia cards, then you can just bring in the Lucario and then fill it up with energy back onto this Pokemon. I feel like that's going to be a really, really nasty deck. And I'm looking forward to building it because I love Garchomp. I love Lucario. Those are 2 of some of my favorite Pokemon. So I'm really looking forward to making a deck built around them. And like I said, worst comes to worst, I think he will do really good in the... why am I blanking on it? Sorry, I didn't mean to snap my finger right by the microphone. I'll try and cut that out if I remember. I'm going to look forward to seeing how he works in those decks. And like I said, this Premium Power Pro is going to be really good in those decks as well. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to building those decks. Assuming I'll be able to build them. Who knows? Who knows with how crazy the TCG market is right now with Pokemon. Who knows if I'll even be able to ever open up any of these packs. I still haven't opened up, like, I talked about this in a video that I just recently filmed. And... this video is going to be coming out long before that. So I'm fine with talking about this again, though. I still haven't opened Paldean Fates, and I don't think I ever will be able to open up Paldean Fates unless I'm willing to spend, like, hundreds of dollars to get some of these packs. It is ridiculous how expensive things are getting in the TCG right now, and I absolutely hate it. People need to stop spending money on these overpriced products, and they need to just wait. Because if they don't stop this, then we're never going, like, the bubble's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then everybody's going to leave, and then they're just going to screw everything up for everyone else. So I really hope that it does kind of start to regulate itself, but it's not looking like it is. Anyways, that's my rant for now. We're going to move on to the Mega Gardevoir EX. This is another card, or this is a card where I was talking about a little bit earlier, like kind of some ideas for deck construction, and I think that this could work really well with the current Gardevoir that we have, the current Gardevoir deck. This could slot in there and be really powerful. Or, here's the or, I think this could work really well with this card right here. I think it could actually work really well with this. And it's because of that Photon Kinesis. Does 30 damage. Does 30 more damage for each Psychic Energy attached to all your Pokemon. So it works very similar to how the Mega Gardevoir EX already works, but you know he's only 2 prizes instead of 3 prizes. He's not as tanky, of course, but this does 50 damage for every psychic energy attached to all my Pokemon. So, I mean, this is going to be a lot more damage, a lot better damage. But, I mean, if you know, want to use Mewtwo, like I said, I'm not saying like this is going to be the best deck ever using this Mewtwo EX, Terra Mewtwo EX, but it could be fun to slot this into it, is what I'm saying. Especially if you have this Mewtwo EX, you can then run the Area Zero Under Depths, which allows you to fill up your bench with 8 Pokemon. So, do I think that this would be an amazing card? No. Do I think that it could help the deck, though? Yes. It could just be a Pokemon that is literally just there so you can play Area Zero Under Depths. And you have Overflowing Wishes, which, for each of your bench Pokemon, search your deck for a basic Psychic energy and attach it to them. Once again, it does not specify Psychic Pokemon. Unlike the original Gardevoir EX, this one does not specify Mega Pokemon or Psychic Pokemon. So you can put this on any of your Pokemon that are on your bench. So once again, it could go onto this Mewtwo, which I think is going to be really cool. Plus, I love Mewtwo. It'd be awesome to run him in a deck. Again, I don't know how good it would be. But I mean, if you think of it too, you're going to be hitting a lot harder if you can run that Area Zero Under Depths. 50 damage. If you use Overflowing Wishes and then the next turn do Mega Symphonia, that's going to be 400 damage. 400 damage. That is insane. Now, we might have Mega Pokemon that have over 400 health. I don't know yet. Still, 400 damage is pretty insane. So, yeah. 3 prizes for this is going to... I don't even know if that would be enough, to be honest. It's going to be pretty crazy. So I'm super excited for Megas returning to the TCG. I'm excited just in general for Megas returning. So, of course, I'm going to be happy that we got the Mega here with Mega Gardevoir. I'm actually kind of disappointed, though, that these are the only 2 Megas that they revealed. These are the only 3 cards they revealed. I was kind of hoping that they would reveal a little bit more than these, but they only revealed 3 cards, which is a little disappointing. Just a little bit. Alrighty, so now, before we move on to the thing that I was most excited about hearing news about, I do just want to touch on a little bit. So a lot of people I know were expecting to hear about Gen 10 this cycle. A lot of people I know were like, yes, we're going to be getting Gen 10 announcement. I'm so excited for it. I was not excited for it. I was really hoping that we wouldn't get a Gen 10. Now, we could still get a Gen 10 announcement this year. They could announce it at the next Nintendo Direct. I really hope that we don't hear about Gen 10 until next year. Because, honestly, Pokemon needs to stop the cycle of the game development. Just because, Scarlet and Violet was horrible. It's fine if you liked it. I've put 700 hours into the game. I've put way too much time into the game. But it's not a good game. It's fun because the Pokemon battle system's fun, but it's not fun to shiny hunt in the game. I know so many shiny hunters that have gone back to old games because it's just not fun to shiny hunt because it's just too easy to get all the shiny Pokemon. I've gotten so many shiny Pokemon in the game, I've even considered just releasing or just not catching shiny Pokemon when I find them at times. Because I've just gotten so many. I've gotten all the Paradox Pokemon as shiny. I've gotten almost all the starter Pokemon as shiny. It is just way too easy to find shinies. So it's not as fun. I personally, it's actually why you see Pokemon Moon right here. I've personally gone back to Pokemon Moon and Ultra Moon to do shiny hunts. And I've even gone into Sword and Shield to do shiny hunting. Because it isn't as fun. The game itself the battle system itself is really fun. I love Terra type Pokemon. I love that whole mechanic. Just like I love Mega Evolution, and even though people hated it, I love Dynamaxing as well. But I just, yeah, I mean, I used to stream Scarlet and Violet pretty regularly, and about twice every stream, my game would crash. And one of the times was when I was doing a Nuzlocke challenge. That was really fun when it crashed when I was doing a Nuzlocke, and I lost 6.5 hours of progress because I don't like having autosaves on. I don't. I occasionally like having autosaves on in games. It depends on the game. Like if I'm playing a game like Baldur's Gate 3, I love autosaves. If I'm playing a game like Skyrim, I love autosaves. In Pokemon, I've never really liked autosaves. I like dropping that hard save because if something happens that I don't like, I mean, granted, with a Nuzlocke, it's a little different, but like let's say I was playing in my own personal playthrough of like Scarlet or something. It what boy? Hello? I was talking. I was talking. Please don't. I'm just leaving all this in, by the way. What are you doing? Can you stop that? Okay. Oh my gosh. Lil. Chill, okay? Chill out. Chill out, Lil. Oh man, he's hitting stuff on the keyboard. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to shock you. It was not my fault. I was not trying. Oh, sorry, I keep shocking you. Okay, he's jumping out of the bed. Hopefully he's not going into the closet, which he knows he's not supposed to. Anyway, um, I have to leave the closet doors open while I'm recording, and he loves to climb into the closet and start climbing over all my cards and paperwork and everything in there, and it's so annoying. I love this cat to death, but he can be really annoying. Like there we go. I gotta pause it, and we're back. All right. All right, and the other cat woke up. Rocky's usually a good boy. He doesn't get into trouble much. Um, but yeah, getting back to what I was talking about, I have not liked Scarlet and Violet, so I'm very happy that there's not a Gen 10 announcement because it means that they're putting more time and effort into Gen 10 when it finally does release. So I also too oh shoot, I completely forgot to pull that up. Hold on, let me see if I can still. This one, Champions. So this is actually something I also wanted to talk about. Pokemon Champions has me so excited. So I love Pokemon Stadium. It's one of my favorite games. I played so much of Pokemon Stadium. Also, too, these character designs here, I just gotta say, I kind of love it. They look like they kind of look like the gym leaders from Sword and Shield, and I know a lot of people didn't like Sword and Shield, but I personally loved Sword and Shield. Now, I wish that they had done more with Sword and Shield, and I was not a fan of Dexit and whatnot, but I still loved the game as a whole. But yeah, I love these little like little like turning belt things that they have for the Pokeballs. That is so cool. I hope that just like with the other Pokemon games, that they let you customize your trainers with like a lot of different outfits. That's another thing I hated about Scarlet and Violet. You could not really customize your trainer that much. Um, but yeah, this game I am super excited for. It sounds like they're going to be doing a uh it's almost like a mix of Pokemon Stadium, because from what it seems like is that you're going to be able to choose Pokemon in Champions, and then you're also going to be able to transfer Pokemon over from Scarlet and Violet. And I wonder if it's only going to be Scarlet and Violet, or if you could also transfer Pokemon over from Pokemon Home. Or not Pokemon Home, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and PDLA, and um why am I blanking on the other one? Pearl and Diamond. I just said Pearl and Diamond. Legends Arceus. So hopefully you'll be able to transfer Pokemon over from all the games that are on the Switch. I should have just said that. you should be able to transfer over Pokemon from all the games on the Switch and be able to use them in Champions. And I think that would be great. I think that the game should be balanced off of whatever is the most current game. So, for now it'll be Scarlet and Violet, and then next round it'll be, Sword and Shield, or not Sword and Shield, whatever Gen 10 is. Um, so I think that would be really cool if that's what they did. But I'm looking forward to this game a lot. I don't know much more I could say about it. One of the things I will say is looking at the models in these though. Um, Let me see. I wanna pull this up and let me just mute it real fast and let me go over to here because this is where they kind of show close-ups of the models. Let's make this big. Um, the models don't look like they're using the Scarlet and Violet models. And I'm hoping that that isn't true. I don't care about the sweat. Come on. Let me just... Like... How do I get rid of that? I guess... Yeah, because, like, Samurott has way more, like, texture in Scarlet and Violet. Same thing with Charizard. So I don't think that this is actually using the Scarlet and Violet assets. And so I'm not sure if they are making a whole new game from it or if they are building it from Scarlet and Violet assets, or maybe it's Sword and Shield assets. I don't know. But yeah, it does not. I mean, I guess the Aegislash looks pretty nice, but Aegislash also isn't in Scarlet and Violet, so I'm not really too sure. Dondozo does look like how it does in Scarlet and Violet, kind of, maybe. I can't remember exactly. I think you can see his scales in Scarlet and Violet, and I don't think I can see them there. So, but yeah. Um, so I'm not sure. They could very well be dumbing down the graphics because it is going to be going on to mobile devices as well, which I'm kind of not too happy about. I would have liked this better if it was just on the Switch, but Pokemon seems to really be trying to push mobile. I mean, I can't blame them. TCG Pocket is like the most selling game right now. And just like Pokemon Go was when that first came out. So I can't blame them for wanting to go to mobile. I just kind of wish that they wouldn't with this game because it feels like it might be dumbed down a little bit because of it being on mobile. That's kind of the issue when a lot of these games have split releases between console, PC, and mobile. Is they kind of dumb them down a little bit. Like I love Genshin Impact, but that game is it would have been so much better if it was just released on console, or PC. But it is, of course, a mobile game as well, and because of that, it's kind of dumbed down, and makes me sad. So now we're gonna move on to the thing that I was most excited about, but also kind of the most disappointed with: Pokemon Legends ZA, and I will explain why I was disappointed with this right away. How is it a legend if it takes place after Pokemon XY? It's not a legend at that point. I was really hoping that this would have been the building of, like the rebuilding of Kalos after, or whatever. What city is this? Lumiose. I was really hoping this would be the rebuilding of the Lumiose city after the Great War that they talked about in X and Y, and that's the time period that we're going to be taking place in. That's what I was hoping for. As it is, like, I know everybody's excited about seeing Totodile, Chikorita, and Tepig, which I'm also excited about seeing at least Totodile. Uh, Feraligatr is probably one of my favorite starters, and like that's one of the things I'm so sad about right now with the Pokemon TCGs. There's no Feraligatr EX. I would absolutely love a Feraligatr EX. I mean, there is a really good Feraligatr deck right now, which is fine. But I would love a Feraligatr EX. Come on, Pokemon, do it for me. Anyways, who knows? Maybe they will because of Legends EA. That could be a plus for Legends EA because I mean they did make V and V Star versions of all the starters from Pokemon Legends Arceus. So I'm hoping that they do the same thing with ZA, where they make EXs of all the starters. But one of the things that I don't think that we're getting, though, is I don't think we're going to get regional variants for the starters, which is another thing that I was really hoping for. I was really hoping that we are going to go back in time once again, like how we did in Legends Arceus, and we are going to get new versions of the starters from back in time. So I would be able to get my electric water for alligator that I've been wanting forever. I don't know why I came up with this idea like when they were first announcing regional forms in Sun and Moon, and it is just like it's something that I now want because I just love the idea of this like giant crocodile just like infused with lightning that does lightning punches. Like I just have the idea of almost like Electabuzz and for alligator combined, except without all the fur, because that would be kind of weird. And I think it's also too because like I don't think there is any off the top of my head I can't think of any. I don't think there is really any reptilian electric type Pokemon other than Heliolisk. If there is another one, I can't think of it. They all are kind of mammalians. So I would kind of love it, especially because again, it would be another water electric. And one of my favorite Pokemon is Lantern. My cats are playing. But yeah, I don't think we're getting regional variants because of this. It would be really odd if we got regional variants with Kalos, considering that this only takes place like a couple of years after X and Y. It would be very odd, especially because like they've like the way that regional variants were built up is that regional variants were from years and years of these Pokemon living in these new regions where they weren't necessarily it wasn't necessarily their home region, right? Now, here is one thing that they could do. We could get megas for all these Pokemon. We could get a Mega for Alligator, a Mega Meganium, which that's kind of funny, and a Mega Emboar. So that could be something that they do, which would be really cool. I could still get my Water Electric for Alligator. Come on, Pokemon, do it for me. Water Electric for Alligator, Mega for Alligator. But yeah, I do think that is one thing that I am kind of interested in is are we going to be getting new Mega Pokemon with this game? Also, I don't like that the whole game is in. Like, I was really hoping that I would be able to explore Kalos again. Because, like, I know a lot of people did not like X and Y. I, for one, actually loved X and Y. I loved the Kalos region. And so I was really looking forward to being able to explore a new Kalos region. And it looks like that's just not going to be happening. It's Lumiose City, and it's only Lumiose City. And that is just really disappointing to me. I was really looking forward to exploring Kalos again. Kalos proper. But we're getting Lumiose City. Because another thing, too, is, like, I should have looked this up prior. Hold on. I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So I just wanted to look up really fast the Kalos Pokédex. Because this is part of the reason why I'm so upset that we're not going to be going into Kalos. Is, like, look at all these Pokemon that are in the decks, right? If we're just going to be in the cities, I don't see them having all these Pokemon in the decks. I really don't. I think we'd be lucky to get like half of these Pokemon. Because like yeah, like I don't see them having all these Pokemon. Because like look at this. 153, and this is just in the central Kalos region. Then we go to Coastal. Now I understand that some of these are overlap. You can get some of these in multiple zones, but let's just say that that isn't the case, right? So 153 in the first zone. In the second zone, 153. In the third zone, just gonna scroll down here. Oh, look at that, 151. So I don't see us getting all 454 or no, 457 Pokemon that are in this game in just Lumiose. So it's really disappointing that we're just going to be spending the time in Lumiose. In fact, I don't even think we're going to be getting Xerneas or Yveltal. Because I don't see a way that we could get either of these Pokemon. Like I wasn't expecting us to get Mewtwo or the legendary birds or anything like that. But yeah, I don't even see us getting Xerneas and Yveltal. We might get a new Zygarde form. Maybe we'll get Mega Zygarde. I don't know. But yeah, I'm very disappointed with it just taking place in Lumiose City. And there being like, I don't know how many wild areas. Like it feels like a major step back from Pokemon Legends Arceus. And I'm very disappointed in all of this. I really wish that like the game looks cool and everything, and I'm super happy to be back in Kalos. But again, like this isn't what I wanted. I wanted another PLA, Pokemon Legends Arceus. I didn't want Pokemon Urban Survivor. I mean, the battle system looks cool. It does. I like that. You know, it looks like when you're battling a Pokemon, when its HP reaches 0, it's almost like it sits there stunned for a moment so you can catch it. I like all that. Those are all great changes, but the issue is that again, just like I mean, the characters look really cool. Like I like Urbane versus Tawny. I wish that it lets you choose the gender of your rival rather than them just seemingly being the opposite gender of whatever character you chose. Because I would like it if, you know, I think it'd be better if you chose a female character if you had the female rival, or if you chose the male character, you had the male rival, or vice versa. You know, um, you can split it up. Like I like that a lot more than it looks like what we're getting, which is just, you know, if you choose the female, you get the male rival. If you choose the male, you get the female rival. It's kind of boring. I because that's one of the things I loved about Pokemon Blue, or not Blue. I guess they've never really done that, have they? Well, one of the things I loved about Pokemon Blue, and same thing with Pokemon, well, not Pokemon Blue, but like the Gen 1 and Gen 2, and I think even Gen 3 allowed you to do it, and Gen 4, where you can name your rival. Because that kind of brought in a new like it brought in like a new kind of dynamic to the characterization of the character. And so I think it would be cool if you could choose which of these characters you want to be your rival. Once again, it does not look like they're going to be doing that, so that's a little disappointing. Um, I hope that there's character customization too, because these base characters look horrible. Uh, I don't care for the bell bottoms that she has, or the French flag. I know nothing is French. I think any flag that you wear, well, it's not even really French flag, but like these colored shoes, like yeah, I don't care for how the characters look. I hate the hairstyles that both of them have. I hate the fedoras. So I really hope that there's character customization like there was in X and Y. That was actually I believe the first game. Yeah, that was the first game that they had character customization. So I would be very odd if they didn't bring it back into Legends ZA. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not very excited about this game after this trailer, which actually makes me sad because you have no idea how excited I was when I first heard about this game. I was so excited. I was gushing when they first announced Pokemon ZA, because again, I love Kalos. So for those of you that might not know, I'm messing with my hair. For those of you that might not know, I was really into Pokemon when I was a kid, and I stopped playing Pokemon shortly after Gen 3 when Gen 4 was released. And the main reason for that is I never had a DS at the time. I of course have a DS now. I have a 3DS right here, and I have the normal DS too. Uh, I would have had to have my Pokemon from Leaf Green all the way up here in current Scarlet and Violet. Anyways, so I kind of got out of Pokemon after Gen 3, not necessarily because I didn't like Pokemon, but just because, I was kind of forced to. I didn't have a DS. So I didn't play Gen 4 when I was growing up, Gen 5, and finally when Gen 6 released, I had a job and I was making a decent amount of money. I don't want to say a lot of money because it wasn't, but I was making a decent amount of money, and so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna splurge a little bit for myself. Also, too, my little sister was just starting to get into Pokemon too, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna splurge a little bit. I'm gonna buy a DS. I'm gonna buy all the Pokemon games that I missed out on, and then I'm also gonna buy a 3DS and the most recent Pokemon game. So I did it, and I played before I even played Pokemon XY. I bought Pokemon X. By the way, I bought my little sister Y, and I bought X for myself. And I think I bought her X or Y. I can't remember now. I think I did. Anyways, if I didn't, I guess she'll correct me if she ever sees this. Um, but yeah, so I played through Gen 4, Gen 5, kind of, not really. Gen 5, I actually bought both black and white for Gen 5. And for Gen 4, I bought Platinum and Pearl. And um and so I have white, which has a fresh save file that eventually I'll play through it. And but with black, it was the person who sold the game. And we're back. Sorry about that. My kitten was climbing into things he shouldn't have been. Uh, where was I even? Oh yeah. So yeah, I played through Gen 4, played through Gen 5, kind of, and came right into Gen 6, played through Gen 6, transferred all my Pokemon into Gen 6, and just I had so much fun playing Gen 6. I really did. I know a lot of people didn't like it that much, and it definitely has a lot of problems with the game, but I thought the game was fun. I thought the storyline was pretty decent, and I loved having the megas. I was actually a very big fan of Mega Evolutions. I don't think Charizard should have had two megas, even though I'm really glad that Charizard got his Dragon typing finally. I was very glad that a lot of these Pokemon that were not very used got megas. Now some of the megas could have been better than others, like Mega Absol, for instance. But still, it made a lot of these Pokemon that weren't really useful. And it came out with the Fairy typing, which I have a love hate with Fairy typing. So I don't know. I thought Gen 6 was really good. And like I said, it got me back into Pokemon. I don't know how much I'm going to like the Pokemon Legends ZA. But I guess we'll see. I am gonna get it. I am gonna play it. I haven't decided if I will try and stream it or if I'm just going to record me doing a playthrough and put it up on YouTube here. If you guys would like to see if you guys would like to see me play through the game, let me know. I could even possibly do both, stream it and do videos. So yeah, that's all for this video. I've that's enough of me rambling. Probably hopefully I'll cut this down. Holy crap, that's almost an hour. Uh, so yeah, that's enough of me rambling. I'm sure most of you guys don't care anymore about hearing what I'm saying about these games, or if you do care, you're probably like, dude, you're just repeating yourself now. So thank you everybody for watching. If you liked that video, hit that like button. If you have any questions, comments, go ahead and put those down below. And if you like what you're seeing here, or you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button. Ring that little notification bell. That way you'll be notified next time I do uploads. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.